Hey guys, this is Greg with Medical Muscle. I got some really important stuff to go over in this video today, guys. We're gonna look at what residency program directors are looking for in an applicant, okay? This is off the NRMP website. They just released this information. And it's kind of shocking. I think, I wish I had seen this information earlier going into medical school, but it's very helpful. And it shows you what program directors care about per specialty. It varies, and the kind of uphill battles that IMG students have, and being realistic about certain competitive specialties. All right, guys. So we're looking at the National Resident Matching Program Director Survey. This is what program directors look for in anesthesia. Okay, so we can see here, step 2 will probably take over step 1. So you can see in these rankings here, your scores are probably the most important thing. If you failed step 1 or step 2, that's very important. 76%, right? But interestingly, letter of recommendations is pretty low. So what these programs are looking for is more your objective scores, right? Things that they can look at objectively. So now we're going to go down. Let's look at the step 2 score requirements. Okay, so I think it's important to look at the median. So the median score for step 2 is a 240. That should be something that you should consider. On the lower hinge, that's the 25th percentile, is a 230, and the upper hinge is a 245. So really, you want to be shooting for median or higher, right? I mean, obviously, people have gotten into programs with a 220, but that is very rare. You know, 25th percentile is a 230. I mean, that's like the lower end. But you can see here, people who didn't get an interview, there are people who did get, let's see, what's the median on this guy? The median on this is a 220. Okay, and the upper hinge is a 230. So interestingly, I mean, these are people who, I mean, there's people in here who've scored a 240 and still didn't get an interview. Okay, but there's other factors. So that's the step 2. Now we're going to go down to, this is very important, guys. This is failed attempts at step 1. With anesthesia, you can see here, if you failed step 1, only 4% of programs are going to consider you, no issues. 60%, they'll seldom consider applicants, and 36% will not even accept you, not even consider you for an interview, right? You fail step 2, 40% of these programs will absolutely not even consider you. It's very important that you do not fail either step 1 or step 2. If you fail it, you know, look at these numbers. There's just a small percentage that have no issue with, you know, or at least that's not going to be a huge factor in getting into the interview season. Now let's look down here. Let's go over to the IMGs, US IMGs. 32%. Okay. So IMG students, I've looked at other specialties. This is pretty average. So, you know, you have a good shot if you're an IMG student. I mean, not a great shot, obviously. Look at this. I mean, it's going to be a tough uphill battle. If you're a US senior, then, man, you have a good situation. But if you're an IMG student, it already puts you at a disadvantage. And if you look down here, if you're non-US and you want to go into anesthesia, it's more difficult. It's not impossible. It's just more difficult. You can see. So how many interviews these guys give out? They have 125 that actually get ranked for only 10 positions. Okay, look at all these applicants. This is how many people are applying. So that's anesthesia. So let's go to a different specialty. Let's go to internal medicine. So for internal medicine, we can see step 2 is a huge factor, right? Step 2 score, okay? The next is step 1, but this probably will move down this list as we get in pass fail. Passing step 2 CS, excuse me, and then class ranking, letter of recommendations down here. Failed attempts at USMLE. So interestingly, if you notice, this was higher up on, it was I think 75 for anesthesia, but it's a little lower. They care a little less about this, a little bit more about your letter of recommendations. But again, you know, your scores, your objective measures are still very important. So let's go down to the step 2 requirements. So the median for internal medicine is a 230. And the lower whisker is, the lower hinge is 225. So that's like the lower end that you want to get. Okay, so we're looking at this, you know, these scores range quite a bit, but median is 230. Upper hinge 75th percentile is 240, and the lower hinge is the 25th percentile is 225. So it's quite a big range, but you can see that there are programs that don't take students even with a score of 230. So you would definitely want to be above 230, I think, for internal medicine. That is a safe bet, okay? But, you know, again, they have taken people at 220. I think this is just very rare, right? Most of the people are going to fall in this range. So you want to be above these median levels, right, for each specialty. So let's look at consideration for first attempts. Okay, so 11%. This is a little higher. So anesthesia was 4. So internal medicine is a little bit more forgiving with your scores if you had failed. But again, 18 and 20%, they're just absolutely not even going to consider you. So you don't want to get into this position. You want at least this to be pushed all the way up, right? You want there to at least be a chance. You don't want to just close the door before you even attempted to interview there. For the type of applicant, wow, look at this. Okay, so internal medicine IMG students, 49%. Your status is not as big of an issue compared to anesthesia. Okay, and look at this. If you're a non-US IMG, you have a good situation. You have a good chance at getting into a program if you are not US born. So now looking at family medicine, look at how different this makeup is here. Okay, so commitment to the specialty is the most important to getting an interview. You know, are you showing that you're really interested in family medicine? Your personal statement in those other 2 specialties that I just showed you, this was lower. Now your personal statement is so important, and your letters of recommendation. And then you can see here, your scores are now, your objective, you know, measures are lower. Very interesting, right? Failed attempts are even less important, okay? So let's look at the median score for family medicine. The median is a 228. The lower hinge is a 220. So that means that, you know, if you get at least a 220, you're in the 25th percentile of that bell curve. You know, that's not too bad, right? And upper hinge is a 240. You definitely, again, you want to just get the best score you can, but you can see here, you don't have to get a crazy high score for family medicine to be considered for an interview. So let's go to the pass here, first attempt. Interestingly, you can see here, if you didn't pass step 1, basically every program, just from seeing this, every program will still consider you, even if you failed step 1. Your chances are lower here. I mean, you can see 55% of programs still will make it an issue, but it's not impossible, okay? And then you can see here, if you failed step 2, only 5% of programs will just not consider you. And then you can see the makeup of the students, a lot of IMGs. So there's family medicine. General surgery, this is very interesting. You can see here, step 1, your scores are important, but see your letters of recommendation are very high. So you can tell, guys, that it depends on the specialty, what they're looking for. Letters of recommendation are so important, okay? And your personal statement, it's pretty high. Obviously, yes, your scores are still going to be the highest marker, but these are still important too. Your life experiences, I haven't seen this on the other one. This is pretty high too. I think this is all things to consider. It's the makeup of what they want. They want someone who, you know, has good connection with the person who's writing the letter. You know, it's interesting. It's interesting. Okay, so let's go down to the scores here. So for surgery, general surgery, the median score is a 235, right? And the lower hinge is a 230 and upper is 240. Okay. So you just, again, guys, you want to get the highest score possible, but you got to be above this median. It just puts you in a better situation because, I mean, that means you can have a killer score. You can have way over a 240 and still not get accepted. You know, so you just want to make your position as strong as possible. All right. So let's look at the attempts of step 2. Okay, so anesthesia would at least take a few of you. There's a few programs that would take you, no questions asked. But look here, if you fail step 1 or step 2, your chances just drop quite a bit. So just do not fail either of these tests. Don't fail them. Look at this. This is rough. So if you want to go into surgery and if you failed step 1, you're already shooting yourself in the foot. Okay, so just don't fail it, you guys. Seriously, make sure to pass these and do well. Okay, you don't have to just pass it; you have to do well. Okay, come on. Oh wait, here it is, step 2 CK. All right, so here's the makeup of students. Obviously, there's a good amount of IMG students. 37%. This is you kind of notice this is pretty normal. But it becomes more tough for MD students too. You know, it's not 100% like some of the other specialties. Okay. So psychiatry, we have the personal statement being the most important factor. Interesting. Okay, look at down here, step 2 CK score. Okay, it's not as important as your personal statement, commitment to the specialty, your dean's letter, clerkship grades in specialty, letters of rec in the specialty. You know, those are important too, but your personal statement, interestingly, that's the most important thing that these residency directors are looking at. Let's look at the scores. So for psychiatry, okay, the median score is a 232 and the lower hinge is a 222. Okay, so to be in the 25th percentile, you got to get at least a 222. Let's see if you failed in a test. So psych will still consider you even if you failed one of these exams. There's a small percentage that will absolutely not take you, but that's just a reality that people have to go through. So IMG students, 34. It's pretty much the same as some of the others. As surgery, they take IMG students. Yeah, so here's your data for psychiatry. Let's go through one more. And just for fun, let's do one of the very competitive ones, okay? Okay, so let's look at dermatology, just for fun. You need to pass step 1, okay? That's the most important, right? Have a good step 1 score, but if you don't, then you have to, probably have a good step 2 score. Interestingly, grades and required clerkships, okay? So they're really looking at that. Letters of rec is quite far down your AOA membership. Okay. Yeah, this is dermatology. Now let's get to the meaty stuff. Here's the step 2 score. So let's get this tight range. Okay, so you have to have a 245 in the lower 25th, and actually it looks like that's the lower cutoff. No one gets in with less than a 245. So if you don't have a 245, you have really no shot. Oh, that looks rough. And the median is a 247. So you really have to kick butt to get into derm. Basically have no chance if you're under a 245. And then let's look at consideration on failed first attempts. So already off the bat, it's already you don't even have to, you have to pass it and you still have an extremely low chance, okay? So if you fail it, it's not looking good. I think if you fail step, dermatology might not be for you. And
And then you can see being an IMG student is just incredibly challenging. It's not impossible. You can see that seldom, oh, excuse me, I'm sorry. Yeah, seldom get interviews, which is really tough. I think this is a tough thing. If you're a US MD student, then you have a better situation. But this is a rough go. Okay, not impossible. Not impossible. There are people that do it. It's just something to consider, guys. Okay, so that is all I have for you guys today. I want you to consider these things if you decide to get into a competitive specialty. And if you are going into competitive specialty, then figure out what your backup plan would be. What would be your second choice? I know that's a horrible thing to think about, but I really want the best for you guys. Okay. All right, guys. Wish you all the best of luck.